What's up, everybody? This is your boy Kendric back at it again, and this time we have another Fight Night interview coming live and hot for you. We've got the reigning champions, back-to-back-to-back champion, if I recall correctly, in the meantime. Hitman, dude. What's up? How are you doing, and how excited are you to be back on the show?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm really excited to defend my throne once again. This time versus JohnnyCage. It should be fun.
Yeah.
I've played him a couple times before. It's gone both ways in the past, so uh, I'm excited to see what happens on Friday or Sunday this time actually.
Yeah, that's right. We have to postpone it a little bit because I won't be home, unfortunately, tomorrow. So that's a very good side note for you guys to keep in mind. This time, Fight Night taking place same time, but on a different day. So it's Sunday, but same time. Nothing changes in that regard. So yeah, tune in. JohnnyCage, you mentioned it, Hitman. He's going to be the long-awaited human reinforcements for the challengers side of things. And you also said that you've met plenty of times before. Now, can you give us an estimated guess on what would you say is your win rate against him?
Um, I don't recall exactly, to be honest. I know
Would you
that
say it's like roughly 50-50, or a little bit in your favor, a little bit in his favor?
I'd say it's a little bit in my favor, but I'd say like if you go back quite a few months in the past, he definitely beat me more often.
Okay.
But recently I've definitely won most of the games I've played against him. So if recent results mean anything, I think I should be favored coming into this fight night.
How would you characterize him as a player? Is there anything that stands out, or is he just another human on the platter for you?
He's definitely a really solid player for sure. I think he's he's a little unpredictable. He plays a lot of different styles. But the thing is, I don't think he's particularly phenomenal at any of those.
Hmm.
He's good at a lot of things. So I feel like uh if I show up and play well, I definitely feel like I should be I have a good chance of taking him down.
So the last time we gave you a human as an opponent back in the days, it was Effect. Of course, a lot of time has passed since then, and you've certainly grown a lot stronger. What is your current state when it comes to playing humans? Because I remember back those months ago, you were kind of scared, you were kind of afraid of human players. Has that changed, or would you say it's still your weakest matchup?
It's definitely still my weakest matchup, but I've made leaps and bounds in terms of improvements in the matchup
Hmm.
overall. Uh, Back when I played Effect, I was still playing Blade Master back then, which is just laughable at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a completely different player when it comes to this matchup nowadays. Uh, I'm due to Lin showing his Shaman Kodo build at WGL, all the orgs have sort of followed suit and learned how to play against human.
Hmm.
So, in terms of the strategy, I'm definitely pretty confident going into this. It's just a matter of how well I can execute when time comes.
Yeah, certainly since Lin showed us the build, and since Lin has shown it to other orc players bountiful times, really, at the last WGL, I think the matchup has shifted quite a bit. What do you think does a human player have to do to really beat that style, or to at least fight well against it?
Um, there's a lot of things they can do, to be honest. I feel like they can play rifles. Rifles
Uh-huh.
are very strong. If you play a very safe, conservative creeping game, you can hit like 3-3 on your heroes safely and just make a really strong push in the mid game. If they play standard, I feel like standard is the most cookie cutter way to play. It's the most straightforward, but and then it comes down to micro.
Right.
But humans also have a lot of other strategies they can go for as well. They can play expansion builds. Um, they can play rifles with breakers. Sounds really weird, but I've seen a couple pro humans doing it, and it works pretty well, to be honest.
Hmm.
So yeah, it just depends on what he's comfortable with and what he chooses to do.
Great. Yeah, personally, I can't wait to see the matchup and to see, how much you've grown. I can't wait to see what Johnny's going to bring to the table. If he can finally redeem the Russians, because you've been executing and dismantling quite a few Russians now that we tried to throw at you.
Yeah.
We're almost running out of
Um,
them. So, going to be a hype matchup for sure on Sunday. You don't want to miss it, guys. to move away from the human orc matchup, Hitman, I wanted to ask you about the upcoming tournament, the first tournament of the newly announced ESL Pro Tour, which is going to be Dreamhack Anaheim. And you've been you are one of the invited players. What does it mean to you, and how is your preparation going for that tournament?
I'm definitely excited to be invited. I wasn't expecting it at all, so when I got the email
Yeah.
letting me know, I was like, "Okay, this is awesome." I wasn't planning on going, but, if I'm getting my flight and hotel paid for, I can't complain, so,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm definitely very excited for that. Should be fun. Uh, there's a lot of top, Chinese players who aren't going because of the, coronavirus
True,
outbreak
true.
going on recently, so maybe competition isn't gonna be as stiff as I was
Which is good for
expecting,
you.
so yeah, it's good for me. But at the same time, there's still players like Moon and Happy, so, getting first is still gonna be a tall order, but I'll try my best. In terms of how my preparation's going, um, I honestly haven't been playing much Orc. I've had so much fun playing the Reforged ladder, just grinding my off races that I've played, like
Oh,
I've played less than, 20 Orc games since Reforged has come out,
it's good news for
but
JohnnyCage, maybe.
but at the same time, I feel like I've been playing so many games in the
Hmm.
past few months that, my mechanical skills, I guess, aren't gonna diminish if I don't play Orc.
Hmm.
And in terms of the strategic gameplay, nothing has changed too drastically recently. So as long as I'm playing a race, I should be able to micro correctly and play the game pretty well. But I'm definitely gonna spam a couple orc games coming into this fight night just to make sure I'm
Yeah.
prepared. So
It's pretty
I'm definitely
interesting
not.
that you mentioned the off racing aspect of the game, because if you look into China once again, there's a lot of people, a lot of players that play several races very, very well. Just to mention, the likes of Infi, for example, who's particularly known, of course, to be a master at every race really that he wants to play. Do you think off racing and spending a little bit of time within the skin of the enemy does help you to understand better what they're doing?
Um, a little bit, yeah. The thing is, there's some things that I've noticed that I want to try to see if I can take advantage
Uh
of,
huh.
but at this point, I'm still not that great at my off races, if I'm being totally honest. So I'm still not sure if what I've learned so far is going to be relevant because I'm still playing at a different level compared to my orc. So it's a little helpful, but not really. It's just mostly for fun. But in the future, maybe if I get a lot better at my off races, then maybe it could help me little bit more.
Nice. So, last thing I want to talk to you about, or last thing I want to do with you, Hitman, is I'm going to read all the names of all the invited players to DreamHack Anaheim to you, and you give me, in a quick, crisp sentence, you give me your first thought about the player, okay?
Okay, sure.
Happy.
Uh, Beastly.
Nice. Thorzane.
Uh, Huge fan. Love Thorzane as a player and a person,
Nice.
and I'm excited to get to meet him.
Moon.
Uh, Greatest of all time, just a complete legend.
Law Lion.
I think Lolly hates me for
What?
some reason. I don't remember why. Okay, here's the story. I think Lolly hates me because I never GG on Nettie's games because I just don't really care. I don't think
Hmm.
it's bad manner. I just leave games because I don't want to play it anymore, not because
Okay.
I'm trying to be bad mannered. So I didn't GG him, and I matched him again. And at the start of the game, he said GG, and
Oh.
I called him out for that. I don't remember what I said, but I was kind of rude because I took it as an offensive GG.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the story. So I feel like he started it, and he doesn't really have a right to hate me because I don't really hate him.
Have you ever met
You
in
know.
real life and
I
spent some
saw him
time
at
together?
WGL, but we were in different practice rooms, so I never got a chance to talk to him.
Hmm.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy though. I don't dislike him, but I've just heard that he doesn't like me, so I'm just
Okay.
putting the story out there.
Maybe time to make amends, at DreamHack. Who knows? Maybe you guys can sort it out.
Maybe.
Next player I want to mention, Hitman.
Uh, Easily the best player at the tournament.
Easy. Focus.
Uh, I've been a fan of Focus for a long time, but I think he's inconsistent, and I think I have a good chance of beating him if I get to match him.
Foggy.
Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy, man.
He's
OG.
he's a good player, but I don't know. Sometimes he seems like a really, really good player, but other times he just seems pretty lackluster. So it's I'm curious to see what shape he shows up in.
And last but never least, Hawk.
Hawk is always solid, just a very consistent, very good player. Uh, Not too special in any regard in terms of strategies or gameplay, but he's just a really solid, consistent player.
There we go, man. That's basically it. Any guesses? Any favorites to win the whole thing?
Um, Besides me, of course.
Yeah, of course, of
Happy.
course. Happy. You think that's the man to beat?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Cool. That's basically all I have for you, man, Hitman. Thank you very much for the insight as always. You got any shout outs before we send you off?
Shouts out to Carson, best manager in NA. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, man. And once again, guys, think about it. This weekend, we have Fight Night going on this Sunday, not Friday, because of me having to postpone. So same time, same place, Heroes Hearth, Warcraft 3, Heroes Hearth on Twitch. You can check that out there. Grubby and I would be very, very glad to welcome you. And so would Hitman and our challenger JohnnyCage as well. It's going to be a banger matchup, Orc versus Human. Can't wait to catch you there. If you like these videos here on the YouTube, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment in the section down below. We're glad to pumping out that content for you guys. Until then, see you next time. Peace.